Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, beautiful people. And good evening. I welcome you all from whichever time zone you are. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Welcome back once again. Now let's get to it. Today I'm going to be talking about Jews and the Holy Quran, but let's have a look at what Apostate has to say. And I'm going to be refuting him one by one. I'm going to be responding to all of those 20 questions that Apostate asked, and it's going to be in two parts. So this is part one. Some of them are now, and some of them later.
Question number 3 is, especially for those who have just converted to Islam and who know a lot of people who are not Muslims, what do you think about the Quran's statement mentioned twice that those who do not believe in Islam are the worst of creatures? Do you think that people who reject Islam are really the worst of creatures, worse than cattle?
A group of ethologists conducted a survey on farm animals, and it was discovered that the cattle actually had the least reflex actions as compared to other farm creatures. Like, for example, upon making a sound, all the other creatures reacted except for the cattle. The cattle continued to eat grass as usual, as if nothing happened, which means that the cattle has the least reflex actions as compared to other creatures. So anyone who actually owns a farm can actually do the same experiment, and what I said will be proven to be absolutely true. Basically, this verse of the Holy Quran is not talking about the position of the disbelievers, but the awareness of the disbelievers near the end of times. For example, there's a hadith of women who are fully clothed but naked. So there are people that are seeing all the signs which are actually happening before their eyes, but they're ignoring it. If we make a sound, we may make the cattle react, but the disbelievers will not react at any given cost.
Question number 11 concerns Jews and Christians. The Quran commands not to befriend the Jews and Christians, even if they are your parents and your siblings and people that you know. That if you befriend them, you are one of them. It orders to fight and to subdue Jews and Christians. Allah insults and curses them, Muhammad curses them. What do you think about the constant hate?
For that, I would like you to see Christian Prince's Big Trump Lie. And you can find this in the description box below. And now I'm going to talk about the Jews in the Holy Quran and which position they have. Now, did you know that every Muslim that knows the Holy Quran well also knows one important fact, which is this: that Allah regarded the Jews as once the most favored and the most preferred nation of all. And it says in the second chapter, the second surah of the Holy Quran, which is as follows. I like to let the Jews know, if you are watching, that I'm going to use your own website, jewishvirtuallibrary.org website, and I'm going to just read from there. Here comes the very first thing that the Muslims learn about the Jews. Let's read together. Surah 2, Surah Baqarah, verse 40. O children of Israel, call to mind my favor which I bestowed on you, and be faithful to your covenant with me, and I fulfill my covenant with you, and of me alone, should you be afraid. Surah 2, again the second chapter, verse 47. O children of Israel, call to mind my favor which I bestowed on you, that I made you excel the nations. So in the very second chapter, the first chapter is only about 9 lines long, very brief. This is the first biggest chapter of the Holy Quran, which actually says that I made you above all nations. And then it goes on to say, in verse number 62, same surah, surely those who believe and those who are Jews and the Christians and the Sabians, whoever believes in Allah and the last day and does good, they shall have their reward from their Lord, and there is no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. And then it talks further about how you should treat your parents and the needy and giving poor the charity and all of that. Now, although this Jewish website is very biased, it actually highlights what is negative, but I'll be reading pretty much most. And if I don't read it out, the screenshot is there. You can take a screenshot or go to the website that I have actually spoken to you about. And in Surah Baqarah verse 113, and the Jews say that Christians do not follow anything good, and the Christians say the Jews do not follow anything good, while they recite the same book. Even thus say those who have no knowledge, like to what they say. So Allah shall judge between them on the day of resurrection in what they defer. Now, is the Holy Quran pumping out hatred, or is this true that Jews actually say that? Well, let's have a look, shall we? A survey was conducted to a group of Jews asking what they think of Jesus, and let's have a look at this testimony. So here it is. What do Jews in Israel think about Jesus Christ, the Messiah and God in the flesh, Yahweh, the Christian prophet? And let's see what he had to say.
בן אדם טוב היה, אללה ירחמו, הוא היה צדיק. כמו משה רבנו שלנו. מה? צריך לכבד, כמו שיש את מוחמד, יש את ישו, ויש את האלוהים שלנו.
You need to respect them like there is Muhammad and Jesus.
For me, it's nothing.
Okay.
I guess it's someone for people who consider themselves Christian. But
She just proved what the Quran said, that the Jews say that the Christians have nothing to stand on. He is not the Messiah. They say he is the Messiah maybe because he wasn't born from a father. But for Judaism, that is not the Messiah. It is a story for people who have not been taught critical thinking. One Jew even labeled him to be a heretic, that he was a student of the rabbis, but he was a heretic. He is a part of Christianity. He is not connected to us at all. He is not connected to us. We believe in the Torah. Even though the Muslims are still connected, they believe him to be a prophet. And did the Jews really excel the nations? The Jews, if you look into history and you look into the business world of business and success, the Jews are the most successful people in trade, in business, in the stock exchange. We're not. And all of this is despite the existence of Hitler. Where would the Jews be today if Hitler did not exist? So basically, when Allah speaks about the Jews, he is speaking from experience and from knowledge of what was happening at that time.
Number 12, I think, is very significant. I grew up with the belief that in the future, maybe in the near future, we Muslims will mobilize, we will gather, and we will start fighting for Allah, and we will possibly fight the Jews. And even the rocks and trees will be ratting them out. But a certain tree known as the Gargot tree will not, because that tree is the tree of the Jews. I grew up with this very messed up idea, and it really messes you up a little bit. It's quite dark. Do you want to raise your children with that?
Then it says on verse 121, same surah, surah 2, those to whom we have given the book, read it as it ought to be read. These believe in it, and whoever disbelieves in it, these it is that are the losers. A disbeliever is a loser. What's wrong with that? All books say that. Okay, O children of Israel, on the same surah again. Call to mind my favor, which I bestowed on you, and that I made you excel the nations. Again it said repeatedly. Did you notice that immediately after verse 121 is verse 122? It says that I made you excel the nations, but they didn't highlight that. And then it goes on to say in Surah 5 verse 33, the punishment of those who wage war against Allah and His Apostle and strive to make mischief in the land is only this, that they should be murdered or crucified, or their hands and their feet should be cut off on opposite sides, or they should be imprisoned. This shall be as a disgrace for them in this world and in the hereafter. They shall have a grievous chastisement. Now, I don't understand what is wrong with this verse. It clearly says, those that wage war against Allah and His Apostle. So anyone who's an enemy against you or your religion, it means that they're an enemy against you. This verse is clearly not saying that aim at every single Jew that's out there, even if he's innocent. Again, it highlights the word those who disbelieved from among the children of Israel were cursed. It doesn't say everyone, it says those. And what about the Surah 5 verse 44? Surely we revealed the Torah in which was guidance and light. With it, the prophets who submitted themselves to Allah judged matters for those who were Jews and the masters of divine knowledge and the doctors, because they were required to guard part of the book of Allah, and they were witnesses thereof. Therefore fear not the people and fear me, and do not take a small price of my communications. And whoever did not judge by what Allah revealed, those are they that are the unbelievers.
What do you think about the word Kafir? The Quran constantly refers to people who do not believe in Islam or who disbelieve in Islam, implying that they are people who deny the truth of Islam, people who know that Allah and Islam is true, but they willfully deny it. That's why they are called Kafir, denier.
So what shall I call him? Mu'min? Duh. It's just a word given to a disbeliever, as simple as that. Very, very simple.
Number 14, do you believe that Allah guides and misguides people, and that He guided you because you so desperately wanted to know the truth, but that He misguides other people, like me, who also desperately wanted to know the truth? Because that is what the Quran describes. And it describes us as sick, deaf, dumb, and blind. Do you believe that people who do not believe are deaf, dumb, and blind, and sick? And that
Before I answer number 14, I would like to have a recap. Did you notice something about the video which I showed you? This person in the entire video gave the best reply. He respected Moses, Jesus, meaning Isa, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he was a perfect example to the verses which start with those Jews which are believers. He actually justified those verses. And this young lady justified the verse in the Holy Quran which said that the Jews say that Christians have nothing to stand on, and the Christians say Jews have nothing to stand on. Now in the Holy Quran, there's a surah called Surah Mu'minun, which is the surah of the believers. Now I'm replying to the 14th claim. Surah Mu'minun actually answers your question. This is the surah of the believers. Verse 63, but the hearts of those who disbelieve are oblivious to all of this, and they have other evil deeds opposite to this, in which they are engrossed. This verse of the Holy Quran is clearly talking about the hearts, that those people that disbelieve, they are already engrossed into evil deeds. There's a problem already in their hearts, so they will not believe. Verse 75 of Surah Mu'minun goes on to say, were we to be merciful to them and remove from them their present afflictions, they would persist in their transgressions, blindly wandering on. They are such that we seized them with chastisement, and yet they did not humble themselves before their Lord, nor do they entreat. In the movie Titanic, this man had held on to Rose's hand, and she wanted him to let go.
You're going the wrong way! Let go of me! Listen!
The hell with you?
When Allah says, I guide whom I will, it's because of those people who are actually willing to take advice from Him. So why did I give an example of Titanic? Is because in Surah Mu'minun, there's also a mentioning of Noah's Ark, which is also a biblical story. Surah Mu'minun verse 24, but the chiefs of those who disbelieved from among his people said, this is nothing but a mortal like you who intends to gain superiority over you. And if Allah had pleased to send any prophet, he surely could have sent down angels. We have not heard of this invitation among our ancestors of old. He is just a man in whom is madness, so bear with him for a while. He, Noah, said, my Lord, help me against what they belie. And the disbelievers drowned. This is according to both religious scriptures. That's Noah's Ark and Bible, Quran and Torah. If in the movie Titanic, if Rose drowned, it would have been her fault, not the person who was trying to help her. So why in this situation blame the Creator?
believe that people who believe in a religion should present their proof, but the Quran challenges other people, the polytheist pagans, to present their proof that their gods are real. Do you agree with the Quran? And if so, where's your proof? Do you have proof that it is Allah and Islam which is responsible for everything? Can you
investigating all the spiritual proofs, all the scientific proofs about the fact that the mountains are the pegs, about how the embryo develops inside the woman, all these amazing proofs, but I still needed that little push. It's like I was on the edge of a cliff, I was ready to jump, I just needed a push. All I need is just a sign, just a little sign, nothing huge, maybe a bolt of lightning. I pulled back the Quran, I turned back to where I was reading. SubhanAllah, the very next verse on the next page. For those of you who ask for signs, have we not shown you enough already? Look around you, look at the stars, look at the sun, look at water. These are the signs for the people of knowledge. SubhanAllah.